Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you, and welcome back to another thrift store find. Today, I'm going to be tinkering with something that I found at the thrift store. If you've missed my previous episodes of thrift store adventures, you should definitely check them out. I found a very old bread maker and cleaned it up and made bread with it. I've made Twinkies with a Twinkie maker, all kinds of fun treasures that I found at the thrift store. Lots of kitchen gadgets, including a bloomin' onion, which was pretty interesting. Definitely check out those videos. I love the serendipity of finding something and then figuring out what it does and then to see if it does work, because most likely, A, I wouldn't buy that product brand new. B, I just feel like there's something in the universe directing me towards this discovery somehow. So today I'm going to be making something with this. Have you ever seen something like this before? Isn't it marvelous? I paid $4.99 for it, and I saw it sitting on the top shelf in the kitchenwares, and I thought, what is that? It definitely looks like a pot. It has handles and a base, so it was in the kitchenwares section, housewares. Understandably, but what are those? What are those? So I did what I normally do when I find something interesting at the store. I picked it up and then I tried to open it, and the lid, or this top part, was very, very tight. So I'm gonna use a butter knife to help me pry it off. And inside is a pot. I've since washed this out, but when I first opened it, I found these. Look at these. And what I found very interesting was that this definitely has signs of being handmade. If you look at these discs, they are not perfect. And you can see there's some hand-hammered edges there. The skewers are made of some kind of wood. I'm guessing bamboo. My first guess is that this was some kind of cooker that came from Southeast Asia to make some sort of something. Skewered. My guess was a dessert that did something like this, but how does this work? So I was very excited about it, put it in my shopping cart, and proceeded to go home to find out what it was. At first, when I used Google Lens, it told me it was a Filipino cooking maker to make a specific kind of dessert, and I said, well, that sounds right, maybe, but the number of pipes was different, and they were also much larger in diameter, and it required using a length of bamboo inserted into the pipes, and I said, that's not what this is. So I kept searching, and I discovered that this comes from Cambodia, and it's used to make a dish called nam bompong, which is a rice cake kind of dessert or street food. And you cook the rice cakes in these tubes. Lots of boiling water is boiled at the bottom, and it is gently steamed. And then it's topped with a combination of sugar, sesame seeds, and fresh coconut. Isn't that terrific? So today I'm gonna do my best to attempt to make it. So once I knew the Khmer name for this dish, it was actually quite simple to find more information about it, including some YouTube videos. I'll put some links down below to those in case you're interested, and those were super helpful in terms of finding out how to make this dish, including how to assemble this steamer. So in the base, I've got it about a little over halfway full. I'm going to set it on my heat here, and we're going to start bringing this to a boil. So here's something that I found really interesting. We want a really tight seal so that all the steam is forced up these little chimneys. So in order to do that, we're going to take a piece of fabric. This is just a strip of an old sheet, and we're going to use this to give us a very tight seal. I'm going to wrap this around the edge. Now, I have not done this before, and I hope it works. I'm going to go in a single layer around the edge. It's tricky because how do we put it in without it slipping? So that's why I got it damp, so that it'll make a tighter fit. That's my hope. So I'm going to cut this off and hope that that's enough for a tight fit. And now we're going to press this in like this. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, so now we have to prepare the rice to make the rice cakes. In this bowl, I have some rice that I've had soaking for a couple hours. This is Thai jasmine rice. And I washed it And then I covered it with water and allowed it to soak for a couple hours. Now we're gonna drain the rice. And in terms of measurements, I did 3 rice cooker cups of rice. And now we're going to grind it in my food processor. And from my understanding, we want it pretty fine. And now we're just gonna grind this as finely as possible. Here we go, a little noisy. I think essentially we want a rice flour. If this doesn't do this finely enough, I'm gonna switch to my blender. And we're getting there. Down below it's pretty fine. Up top it's a little bit grainy. See how it's still kind of grainy? I think I'm gonna try whizzing this in my blender to see if I can get it a bit finer. Be right back. All right, let's see. Woo! So this is actually steaming. It was generating so much heat, but look at that. Much finer powder than before. All right, I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna dump this out into a colander, and we'll use this to kind of sift this powder a bit so we can get some of the lumps out. Got quite steamy there down below. So now I'm just going to run my fingers through this and break it through the holes of the colander a bit to kind of grate it and break up all the pieces. We want it to be a uniform mixture. All right, so press that through. And that's what it looks like on the other side. Now that I've tested 2 different methods of grinding my rice, definitely go with the Vitamix if you have that as an option. It grinds it really finely. It almost is like a flour. And when you squeeze it, it kind of holds its shape like that. In the videos I saw, they used woven bamboo kind of tray baskets to kind of do the sieving process. Nice and flat and lovely, but I unfortunately don't have that, so I'm using what I've got. I'm gonna take those clumps out. I'm not sure how that will affect my finished product if it's too clumpy. All right, the steam is beginning to come out, which is great. Next, we're gonna take these pieces and place them into the pipes. And this will help us pull out our rice cakes. Okay. Oh, I actually have 2 extra. Great. Next, we're gonna fill the cylinders with our rice flour that we made. And typically what's used is 1/2 of a coconut with a hole in the bottom, and that's used as a funnel, which is absolutely ingenious. But I don't happen to have a coconut shell handy yet to make a funnel. But I do have this funnel that I got from Daiso that I paid a whopping 100 yen for, and I'm going to snip it so that it will fit the cylinder diameter. So this, I'm just going to cut the tip right off so that it looks like this. Now I've got just a cone. So now we're going to take our funnel, place it over a skewer, and take a handful of our flour and sprinkle it in, and see how it just goes right into the tube. That's so cool. And we're going to fill it up. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Look at that. So for me, that was a couple of handfuls. Got it full. So 1, 2, shake, shake, shake. Oh yeah, about 2 and a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I'm having so much fun. This is so great. Melissa, if you're watching this, call me. It's been ages. It's been too long. I miss you. Let's do this. Okay, a couple more. I'm going to try to fill up all these. Now this funnel is pretty ingenious. It would have taken a lot longer to do this otherwise. Ooh, ow, it's so hot. Oh, it's cooking in the cylinder. That's not good. My funnel was getting a little clogged and I didn't even know it because I couldn't see. Okay, so now that these are all full, we are going to put these little plates down on top. And this will capture the steam. Increase the heat. We want this on a full steam. And this will help ensure that everything is well cooked. Here, let me show you up close. So cool. seal that in. Oh no, so that diameter of that stick is too fat, so I guess that one won't be covered. So our rice cakes are served with a combination of salt, sugar, toasted sesame seeds, and a bit of freshly grated coconut. So let's grate some coconut. Here is a dried coconut. There are its 3 eyes, and this is the dry husk outside. When this is growing on the tree, there's a big green shell on the outside of that, and that needs to be removed so you can get into the actual nut. Coconut water is inside of here, and coconut milk is made from the grated coconut to which water is added and then squeezed, and you get the white coconut milk. So inside this is not coconut milk, it's the coconut water. But how do we get it open? We just hit it. So here are the eyes, and we're just gonna hit it right down the center here, all the way around. Ready? I'm using the back of the blade rather than the sharp edge. We're gonna hit it all the way around. All the way. Ooh, there we go. See, it's beginning to crack. There's a crack right there. Keep going and turn it, and the coconut water should start coming out. There we have it. There is our coconut. Have you ever seen what a young coconut looks like? You should definitely check out my Fruity Fruits episode where I eat a young coconut. This is an older coconut. There's not that much liquid in it, and the white meat is quite thick, which we want because that's what we're going to harvest. Now to shred our coconut, I have a very cool tool, a coconut scraper that I made, and I learned about this kind of a tool when I was a child, and my dad was scraping coconut, and this is what they would use in Burma. Just a piece of wood. This is from our kindling pile, and this is just a bottle cap that I affixed with a screw and a washer, and that's going to be our little scraping tool. So easy, right? And now we're just going to take our coconut and scrape. And that's how we'll get beautiful shreds of coconut. So we can just go around the edge. This was my job on a couple of occasions when my mom was making Burmese desserts. And it doesn't require too much effort. Just rotate, and then you get beautifully scraped fresh coconut. Oh, that's 5 minutes. Let's see how our little cakes are doing. Oh yes, I think we're there. I think we're there. I'm gonna just get a little bit more coconut, and I think we can get ready to serve this up. Okay, to make our topping, into my mortar and pestle, I'm going to add some sesame seeds. Give them a little grind to release some of that sesame flavor. And then I'm gonna add a bit of salt. It's probably about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then an equal amount of sugar as to sesame seeds. So about, in this case, 2 tablespoons. You can also use black sesame seeds. And that is our sweet topping. So to extract these, I'm going to be wearing my heat-safe gloves because everything's gonna be hot. Take a little ring off. And I've got a piece of parchment paper to catch this in, and I'm gonna pull this up. Oh, look at that. Look at my rice cake. It's so steamy. I'm gonna show you up close. Then we're gonna put it onto my parchment, push this up to release this, pull it out. Ah, it worked, and there's my little rice cake. How beautiful. Look at that. Perfectly steamed. Now we're gonna place it on my plate. Now typically this would be a banana leaf, but oh, I am so proud of myself. Yes! Okay, let me show you this up close. So, remove the plate, and then watch this come out. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh, that's so great. Look how steamy and hot that is. Ah, beautiful. Look how beautiful they are, steaming hot. Oof. Now, I'm gonna take some of our fresh coconut right on top. And then our sugar and sesame seed mixture on top. Yum. And there it is. Looks so stinking lovely. All right, let's give it a taste. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. I love it. It has such a fantastic texture. The process of rehydrating the rice and then grinding it up and then steaming it creates such a marvelous texture. It's chewy, bouncy, yet not sticky like mochi, but it has a nice bounce to it. It's not granular, but there's a particle size, a noticeable kind of particle size, but it's not gritty at all. And the flavors are wonderfully simple and delicious. Something about the combination of the aromatic steamed rice that's warm and inherently nutty, combined with the sesame seeds that are toasted and nutty as well, with just a little bit of that coconut richness that also has its own inherent kind of nuttiness, and then sweetness from the sugar, and then the salt. The salt is marvelous. I love the salt. It really makes the sweet not so sweet, but more sweet at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It creates a kind of a balancing effect with the addition of salt. It's so good. I love it. And most of all, I love that I discovered something that I was not at all familiar with, and I got an opportunity to use it to make something. So it was stinking great. Absolutely wonderful. Just made my day. Alrighty, my Louise, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Oh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, let's take the rest of them out. Oh, forgot to put on my gloves. So much fun!